In previous videos, we've looked at the tools MATLAB provides to write and debug good programs, but writing good code is only half the battle. In the modern world, the vast majority of programming projects are much too large for an individual to complete, so documenting your code in a readable fashion is of paramount importance. Let's look at the syntax for adding comments and help files in MATLAB. In this video, we'll use the practicescript.m file that you created in the Creating Scripts video earlier in this chapter. To designate a line or the latter part of a line as a comment, simply put a %sign directly before the comment. In this example, you might want to clarify the first line of code to let the reader know that it is converting the CSV file into a MATLAB matrix. So you can simply write %converts CSV to matrix. Another common use of commenting is for debugging purposes. Commenting out a suspect line is an easy way to see if it was the command causing whatever error the program is throwing. To designate more than one line at a time as a comment, use block quotes. At the beginning of the comment block, type % and bracket. So if we wanted to comment out the loop here, we type % bracket in front of the loop. This doesn't have to be on its own line, but it's often easier to see and work with if it is. Then at the end, type % bracket facing the other way. Everything between these two bookends will now be commented. As before, this is a great way to handle debugging as well as provide documentation. Comments can also be used within a line. If you only want to comment out part of a line of code with normal code on either side, you first have to split up the line. This is done by putting an ellipsis directly before the line break. So we'll uncomment out the block. And if we wanted to comment out just part of the stock formula, we could go in and put an ellipsis right before this number, and then press enter. Now to comment out that part of the line, you put a second ellipsis before the numbers, and then one final ellipsis afterwards, so that you can move it on to the next line and ensure that this next part is considered part of the line again. This ellipsis tells MATLAB that everything to the right of it is a comment and that the command continues on the next line. Inline comments like this should generally be used sparingly for documentation, as they can make your code more confusing. They are, however, quite useful for narrowing down individual terms in a function that might be causing a bug. The other special type of comment is a help comment. This is a descriptor that is automatically applied to a comment at the very beginning of your script or right after the function definition in a function. This comment is meant to describe the program as a whole to anyone else that comes along and uses it. Unlike the other comments, it can be viewed without opening up the script or function itself. Typing in help followed by the function name will return this help comment within the command window. For instance, at the beginning of this function, I could add a new line with %practice script calculates the rolling mean of stock data. Then if I save this, go to the command window and type help practice script, it will return the help message. Between ordinary comments, inline comments, and help messages, understanding code should be much more straightforward.